What's up, everybody? This is Marquise Dupree with Doc Sports. How's everybody doing tonight? We had a long weekend of college football. We had some ups, we had some downs, but it was exciting. Everybody team didn't come on top, but like I tell y'all, college football is big business, big emotions, big fun. Now, whew, let's begin. Everybody been asking me, "Hey, what you going to talk about?" I'll talk about college football. One fan base been wanting me to sympathize with them. And I will a little bit, but I'm not worried like they are. I mean, not because it's not my team, it's because we don't seen this before. Team I'm talking about? Alabama. Alabama fans has made every excuse, has, you know, been really cocky over the years, and don't understand what happened. Well, let me tell you what happened, what I think happened. This is my opinion, and some of you is not going to agree with me. But I think that game, I watched that whole game. And the beginning of that game is very, very familiar. And what I mean by that is Tennessee did what Alabama usually do. They beat their opponents before they step on the field. And judging from game day to the beginning of the game, looking and listening to Tennessee fans and the confidence that they had, they knew that game, nothing was going to stop them. They didn't care what the referees had bad calls. They didn't care that Alabama was Alabama, number 1, 2, or 3 team, which that's what usually Alabama is. And Alabama fans, you have beaten this team 15 years straight. You don't smoke so many cigars, you should have lung cancer. Yeah. This team got tired of being bullied. And it's one of the best games of the week. You just didn't come on the top end like you usually do. And I don't think Alabama team is no less or no better than any other Alabama team. And they're not a superstar team, but they are a decent team. They still in the national championship hunt. Alabama? You guys talking about the referee made bad calls. Every game the referee made bad calls against every team. It's just when things is not going your way, you lean more to the bad calls. Because usually your team is good enough to fight through the bad calls and end up getting the win. And this didn't happen. Tennessee was relentless. That day could no team in college football beat Tennessee. The Volunteers was there, and they fought. They bullied. Well, I wouldn't say they bullied because Alabama still was Alabama, but they stood up to the bully. And you can say Alabama don't have a decent running back. You can say Alabama don't have. Alabama look good to me. Alabama looked good to me. But Tennessee just knew that they was going to win that day. They knew. They knew it. And that's what everybody want their team to be on Saturday. They want their team to step up and just don't get bullied. And keep swinging. Keep fighting. Because you're tired of getting beat. Now, what I'm hoping that happens is Alabama go on and have a good season. Hopefully make it into the national championship. Or at least to the SEC championship. And maybe they can play Tennessee again. Well, like I said on my last podcast, if you go back and see, if Tennessee beat Alabama and beat Georgia, you might well crown Tennessee the national championship because I don't see anybody else beating them. You can sit up there and you can talk about Ohio State. You can talk about Michigan. You can talk about any other school, but Tennessee, they look good. And to Alabama fans, this is the best loss that you can have. It wasn't a blowout. You lost to the number 6 team in the nation. They dropped you to number 6. It wasn't like you lost to Mississippi State or Auburn, somebody that wasn't ranked. But what you have to be careful of and what your team have to be careful of, and I never seen the Alabama team do this, so I don't have no worries, is they let a game get to them so bad that it affects them the next few games. And I don't see Alabama doing that. Nick Saban would not let this loss affect his team anymore. Unless you have a major injury or something, and I don't see that happening. Tennessee, congratulations. You guys, I would have told the goalpost down. I would have took me one of them chairs out of the stand and took it home. That's what I would have done. And I hope you guys can keep it up because I hope you don't let Alabama be your national championship where this is the only game you win and then you drop every other game because you still have a tough schedule ahead of you. You still have Georgia. You still have Georgia. Alabama still have Ole Miss. So there's a lot of football to be played. And we have seen Alabama take a loss like this and go on to win a national championship. Alabama fans just hurting because you were spoiled for beating a team 15 years straight. You bullied a team 15 years straight, and that team stood up to you. That's what happened in college football that was making it so great. Okay, so, Tennessee fan, hold your heads up. Alabama fan, do your thing, what you normally do. If you guys lose 3 or 4 games this year, then just to get worried. No, you're not going to lose 3 or 4 games this year. I think you guys are still in good position. You just play your season out, wait and see what happens. And I think you guys will come out on the winning end like you normally do. Would you win a national championship? I don't know. This could be the year where SEC has 3 teams in there though, especially if Tennessee beats Georgia and Georgia and Alabama sitting there with 1 loss from Tennessee. Alabama still have the chance to go play Tennessee. Georgia get knocked out from playing Tennessee. So we've seen the scenario plenty of times, and it's a lot of college football to be played. Somebody may get left out. Michigan, just saying. This could be the SEC. Now, if Ole Miss luck up and beat Alabama, then Ole Miss may slip in there. But I don't see that happening. I think Alabama's still Alabama. It's just what I said. Okay, now on to Clemson and Florida State. And this is what I was worried about. We came out 4 wins. Everybody was happy. Played Wake Forest, lost. NC State should have won, lost. Everybody was excited for the Clemson game because they said Florida State was fighting and they didn't look like themselves. Lost. Now he's sitting 4-3 with the bye week. Hopefully we can get better, win the rest of our games, which I'm very skeptical because we still have to play Syracuse. Syracuse is a very, 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 very good team right now. We still have to play Miami. We still have to play Florida. So Florida State fans, hold your breath. Trust me, hold your breath. I feel bad. Not feel bad, but LSU fans, They got over the fact that they lost to Florida State because they thought Florida State was a good team coming back. Well, if Florida State lose two more games, it's going to hurt LSU. And I don't feel sorry for LSU or the SEC. I'm just saying that it's Florida State could have been a good loss to LSU if LSU somehow maybe lose two games, run the table. You can look at that Florida State loss. It's not really a loss because it was their first game of the season. Now, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. We have a bye week. We play Georgia Tech, then Miami, then Syracuse. We go to Miami at Syracuse also. Then we have the Raging Cajuns come home. Then we cap the season off with Florida. I don't know, guys. I'm always go Knowles. I'm always with my stuff. And trust me, I blame the referees, I blame the coaches, I blame the players, I blame the fans. And I don't know. I just think Florida State just need that mentality like Tennessee had, like Alabama has. When a team comes into your home stadium or you go into their home stadium, you know that you finna beat them no matter what. No matter what happens, you're gonna beat them. Florida State haven't had that, so I don't know where we're going. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't, guys. All I know is college football, and we halfway through the point. We're halfway through the season, and like I told everybody, 6, 7 game. I'll tell you what your season is. Georgia's still looking like number one, 55-0 Vanderbilt. That was, I hope that was homecoming for Georgia. Um, they could have played all their freshmen and still beat Vanderbilt like that. But SEC is very deep right now. Auburn, hold your head up. You played really tough against LSU. Could have pulled that game out. And this is what I say about Auburn fans, is that you have to hope that they don't do anything with your coach. Or you better hope if they do anything with your coach, if they fire him or get rid of him, you better hope you have somebody coming in that's going to make a difference. That you're willing to give 3 years to make a difference. Because I see this team playing hard for Brian Hartson every week. They can easily give up and say our coach is gone. We just trying to get out of here so we can transfer. They can quit right now and they don't. They still fight. They don't have the record, that everybody would love to see. But I don't think Auburn is a pushover. I mean, Ole Miss, number 9, 48-34. It was a close game. That doesn't speak. I mean, Auburn was leading at one time. Auburn fans, buckle up. I think your coach is gone. I hope you have a A1 coach coming in. The coach I would like to see at Auburn, and I don't have a dog in the fight, is probably Damian Craig. Damian Craig, I think, has been around college football a long, long time. He's one of the number one recruiters. Um, thank God he was at Florida State for us to bring Jameis Winston in, and I'm pretty sure Jimbo Fisher thinks him too. God and Damian Craig. Because if it wasn't for Damian Craig, he wouldn't have got a lot of that talent on the FSU team. A lot of coaches wouldn't have gotten a lot of talent if it wasn't for Damian Craig. Damian Craig also acts as a quarterback coach. He never was made a offensive coordinator, and I think that he wasn't made an offensive coordinator that I know of, is because he's always been a number one recruiter. Now he's one of the highest paid quarterback slash recruiting coaches around, and that's by no accident because they know they need Damian Craig to go recruit. I think it's about time for Damian Craig to become a head coach. I don't know what his salary is. I think it's $2 million, $3 million, and he's not even an offensive coordinator. That tells you what he is, and Jimbo Fisher's not going to let him go. I think Auburn can get him from a decent price. If they allow him to make his hire, maybe he could get T. Martin as one of the coordinators, get him a good defense coordinator, put a good staff together, and I think everybody would be scared as I don't know what if they got to go and recruit against Damian Craig. Damian Craig is a beast. He's from Mobile. He probably don't remember me, but I talked to him a few times at the barber shop, Ultima Barber Shop. and he's always a nice, humble guy. And I think it's about time for something good to happen. But if you go get Damian Craig, you have to give him 5 years. You have to. You have to give Damian Craig 5 years. Not 3, 5 years. And you have to be committed to get him anything and everything that he needs so he can be successful. And I think he can be successful. And I think not that because you can get him from for a decent price, you still got to pay Damian Craig about $6 million. Because, like I said, he's one of the highest paid quarterback slash recruiting coaches around, and that's by no accident. So you're getting somebody that's going to make your team. He's going to make your team. He's going to get you to the point. I believe. I believe if you give him a fair chance, and you put everything behind him, and you let him hire a good coaching staff because he has a set of friends that's from this area. That's if you do the research, he can hire a good coaching staff just because of the people he know because he's been around college football for so long. But that's if Auburn part ways with Brian Hartson. And if you part ways with Brian Hartson, whew, even if you keep Brian Hartson, I would go get Damian Craig anyway. I pay Damian Craig $5 million if I was Auburn just to sit on our staff, be an offensive coordinator and a recruiting coach. I would go get Damian Craig and bring him home. That way, if you get Brian Hartson another year or two and he don't work out, Damian Craig still right in there and fill the spot. It's all about money. That's what it's all about. And it's about money. It's about money. You know, that's why you win. So you can pack that stand so you can make money. That's what I mean. So you can get the best facilities. You still need boosters. I mean, but I don't know what Auburn's going to do. And I got a soft spot for Auburn because I used to like Auburn. When I was coming up as a kid. Um, I watched Damian Craig. I watched when Tommy Bowden was there, and they had the undefeated year. I used to have a lot of Auburn apparel. You could probably find some old pictures and stuff for me wearing Auburn and stuff. Um, so I liked it Auburn. But I was a weird kid too. So I mean, like I said, I liked the Tommy Frazier. I liked the certain players. David Palmer was probably my favorite player who I try to be like. Um, yeah, you know. So we'll see. It's a lot of college football to be played, but we'll see what Auburn's going to do in the offseason. Hopefully, they won't mess their class up this time. If they do, I hope they have a great backup plan so we can kind of see what happens for Auburn. For all you Auburn fan, there you go. I said I gave you some attention, even though you haven't won that much, but your team is fighting. Hopefully, they can come up. I can tell you one thing: the way that they're fighting for Brian Harsin, the Iron Bowl is going to be pretty good. People think the Iron Bowl is not going to be good. Watch, watch. I'm not saying they're going to beat Alabama, but I'm saying they're going to give you a game. They're fighting for their coach. And if they know if the Iron Bowl is Brian Hart's last game, watch out. Okay, let's get into some more college football that we all love. We love college football, don't we? I know I love it. Okay. Kansas, I talk about teams, because I know players from this area. And Tanaka Scott, like I say, played for Murphy High School. I don't know what his box numbers are, but Kansas is ranked number 19. Who would have predicted Kansas ranked number 19? But they lost against Oklahoma, 52-42. But it was a good game. So watch our local kids. If you know our local kids are playing for a certain team, even if you don't root for that team, just watch them. Doesn't hurt anything to give our local kids a little bit, a little bit attention. It doesn't hurt for anything. Okay. What else I want to talk about? Penn State. You talking about? I don't want to say overrated because they like number 10. And the only loss was to Michigan. But Penn State. Penn, I hope Auburn don't try to go get John Franklin. That's all I'm saying. You'd be in some trouble. You would be in some big, 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 big trouble if you try to go get him. You'd be in some major trouble. I don't think that's a good. I don't know. I don't think that's a good fit, but I don't know. I mean, what do I know? I'm a Florida State fan. These are all my opinions. All right, now let me bring up the schedule real quick. And you guys got to excuse me, like I told you, I'm gonna look down. I'm looking at all my notes and stuff, all my books and stuff, and all that stuff like that. All right, South Alabama. South Alabama, local school. South Alabama. And I got a bitter spot about this game. South Alabama has some Florida State talent. If y'all don't know, I think Daniel Webb, Deontay Lucas, which was at Florida State at one time. They both transferred. I think Lucas transferred last year. Webb transferred last year from Troy, I believe. Well, I knew he played for Troy before he came to Florida State. I don't know if he went back to Troy, but now he's at South Alabama. He did play at Florida State, and he's a dang good running back. Lucas is a dang good lineman. If he can hold his temper. Um, my wife graduated from South Alabama when I met her. Um, like I said, I'm Troy alumna. So this week we're house divided in a nice way. Um, I do think South Alabama's gonna beat Troy. Just saying, just being nice. And it's about time because Troy done beat up on South Alabama. Also, um, the game last week, good game. South Alabama ended up beating ULM 41-34. Only loss that South Alabama have is to UCLA, which they lost 32-31. I think if a couple of coaches' decisions was better, I kind of think South Alabama would be looking at undefeated and would have their first, I think this is their first win against a major Power Five school. They would have beat, they would have beat UCLA. One good play. That's what all these games have come down to, though. One good play. Like if you have one good play, I'm just saying. Florida State, Travis, if you don't float that ball up in the NC State game, one play. They don't pummel the ball for Clemson game, I think. One play. And I know y'all don't like talking about Florida State, but I'm a Florida State fan. Like I say, I'm gonna pull for the nose, win, lose. I'm gonna do y'all like y'all do. I'm gonna blame everybody when we lose. Referees. I'm gonna say the color of the uniforms, which is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Let's talk. Do you really think uniforms predict if you're gonna win a game or not? If you wear all black, all white, a different combination, do you really think that that's the reason why you win or lose games? Because if you do, I want to know who you are so I can talk about you. Because it ain't the uniform; it's what's in the uniforms and how they coach. I have to keep telling y'all this. Keep telling y'all this. All right, so South Alabama, Troy, it's Thursday night, 6:30. That's gonna be a good game. So everybody, please pay attention to that game. I really think that's going to be a great game. Great game. All right. Okay. Let's talk about some upcoming games real quick that we got for the up and coming weekend. Like I said, Florida State do have a bye, so we won't be talking about Florida State. Some people told me that they don't listen to my show because I talk about Florida State and they don't know anything about Florida State. Like I tell them, go do some research. You know, I do the research to these games. You go do some research. All right, let's kind of bounce through some games. We'll talk about Tennessee, who has a easy homecoming against UTM. They play 11 o'clock. Tennessee is now ranked number 3. I think that's going to be a blowout. Tennessee should easily, after what they did to Alabama, should easily win that game. All right, ACC, Syracuse and Clemson. I really have to watch this game because we have Syracuse. Syracuse now ranked number 14. Syracuse is undefeated. Clemson is undefeated, with Clemson is number 5. I do hope that Syracuse can beat Clemson, even though Clemson have a direct win over us. And I hope we can beat Syracuse. I don't know what they would do, but that would probably shake up a little things in ACC. And like I said, if Florida State can't win the ACC, I don't want anybody to win ACC. I think the ACC is a crappy conference, especially when it comes to refereeing. And why this? I know everybody is upset with referees because they make bad calls, especially when your team lose. That's not a when your team lose, you have to notice referees they make bad calls. But why the referees are not held accountable? Why when you go back and look at the tape and you see the referee makes a bad call or a no call, why that referee is not forced to sit a game out or do some type of correction training, you know? Why? Everybody else is held accountable. Why the referee is not held accountable? You know, if the referee make, let's say, 5 bad calls in a game, I think they should be ejected and placed with another referee. I don't know, but a referee should be held more accountable. And if they don't make a lot of money, well, let's give them some money because there's a lot of money in college football. Let's pay the referees, accordingly so we can hold them accountable. Because referees do affect the game. And I'm gonna tell you something about my team. Stop running around referees, especially when you run your route. Run them over. Please run referee over a few times, and he'll move out the way. He will move. Everybody, school, game, if referee's in the way, because I was told to run him over. When I was in high school, to run over the referee. Run through him. If he's going to be in the way, he's part of the field. Run through him. Because referees do stay in the way a lot. They do miss calls all the time. They're not perfect, but a lot of calls they miss sometimes determines a quarter, sometimes determine a game. So let's get to where we can hold a referee accountable in all of college football. In all of college football. NFL also, they make bad calls too. Hold them accountable. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's go through some more games. I'm looking for the ranked teams. UCLA, which is number 9, who South Alabama almost beat. I like saying that. Is number 10 Oregon. Oregon snuck back in. Oregon snuck back in. Anyway, y'all know how I feel about rankings. I don't really agree with the rankings. So let's pay attention to that game because that game could probably be it is a top 10 matchup with a number 9 team and a number 10 team. But you know, um, I don't see Oregon making the playoff, and I think so don't see UCLA making the playoff. Ole Miss and LSU. I think LSU is still dangerous. They still have teeth. They coming off a good win against Auburn. I think LSU may upset Ole Miss, and I need LSU to upset Ole Miss. Um, I need LSU to pretty much cause some havoc, so they can say, "Oh well, LSU." Um, Oh, LSU did beat Florida. Which Florida fan was talking how LSU was, and LSU will be an easy win because Florida State can stick with them. I'm telling y'all, because one team does one thing to that team doesn't mean that team is good or bad. That just means that's how they played that team, and every week is a new week. Every team is different. So. Okay, LSU did lose to Tennessee and they did lose to Florida State. So LSU is sitting there with 2 losses. I do think LSU can sneak up and get Ole Miss because Ole Miss do not impress me. Now LSU do have to play Alabama, and I think that's a different task according to how LSU plays Ole Miss. But we'll see. We'll see. I just need LSU to cause some havoc, and I dang sure need LSU to beat Texas A&M. I don't think they played already. I should have checked, but I didn't see them that they played already. All right, Mississippi State is number 24. When Mississippi State came 24. Anyway, hey, it's the SEC. They give out ranks especially when they play certain teams. And they're playing Alabama. I think Alabama is going to be Mississippi State shouldn't even be ranked. But hey, y'all know how I feel about ranking. Texas A&M and South Carolina. Do you think Texas A&M is going to beat South Carolina? The only reason I talk about Texas A&M is because of Jimbo Fisher. You guys know my relationship with that. Okay, UCF and ECU. I think UCF, University of Central Florida, and East Carolina University. I think Central Florida would beat them. All right. Texas and Oklahoma State. Number 20, Texas. We know how Texas played Alabama. Everybody thought Texas was back. I think Texas is good enough to beat Oklahoma State, who's ranked number 11. Okay, now on Friday night, hold on. Yeah, Friday night we have Duke and Miami at 11. Hold on, that's right. Yeah, Friday. Friday, October 21st at 11 a.m. on a Friday. They playing 11. I guess this must have been a rescheduled game from the Hurricanes. I'm not for sure. I had to look it up. But we have a lot of a lot of 11 a.m. games on Friday, October 21st. I wonder what that's about. If anybody know why we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games that start at 11 a.m. on a Friday, October the 21st. This is not bowl season. Why we have so many games? This start at 11 o'clock on Friday. While people at work. That's crazy. Oh, well, I guess Miami fans have an excuse not to fill out the stadium, not to fill it up. So, hey, we'll see how that goes. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap me up for college football. Like I say, everybody just continue to support college football. I know I concentrated on college football tonight. Just because college football, like I said, is run the South. And I know a lot of people's in their feelings with college football because everything didn't go their way. So I just really wanted to talk about it and just kind of mention now, hey man, this is the best part of college football. I think this give everybody the opportunity to say, hey, where my team at? How my team is going to be? What my team is, you know? I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. Okay, if everybody don't know, Roy Jones Jr., who's from Pensacola, Florida, who's one of the greatest boxers of all time. I think I don't care what y'all say. I would not debate anybody on that. I love Roy Jones. You, we can debate, but I'm just saying. Roy Jones is trying to sign a petition to save the IBA, the IBA, uh, um, the IB, the I. I'm trying to get it right. The IBA uh, boxing belt. And basically, let me read this a little bit real quick. Sign the petition and saving the IBA and boxing. Boxing is in danger. It could be wiped off the Olympic Games. And say it already not being included in the Los Angeles 2028 initial pregame. International Boxing Association is doing its utmost to save boxing, though various reforms and everyday action to support its athletes. I was deprived of my Olympic gold medal in 1998. IBA is working hard and was able to lawless form the sport. So um, everybody just see what Roy Jones talking about. I mean, we got to support Roy. And just reading that, if you go back, go look at the 1988 games, and you kind of see um what he's talking about. International Boxing Association, and the Roy Jones was robbed. And it hurt a lot of people, not just the country. And I know everybody was always pulling for the U.S. because it's their country. Everybody's patriotic during the Olympics. But in Pensacola, that hurts as a little kid. And if you look at some of the old pictures and stuff, you know, and you can see probably little me in the background when Roy came home and into a lot of the parties and stuff. family events and stuff. I was fortunate enough to be around in a lot of those pictures and stuff. And Roy was like our hero. He was a lot of people's hero. I'm pretty sure people over in Mobile and the Gulf Coast loved him, you know. Not everybody, but and he always gave his best. And once I think that he lost in the Olympics, it did something to him. It hurt him, of course, hurt a lot of us, but it made him just fight harder. And every time he stepped in that ring, he gave his best. Now, a lot of y'all only know Roy when he lost. A lot of y'all didn't like him because he was cocky. A lot of y'all didn't like him because he knew he was going to win. A lot of y'all, thought he was a bully. Kind of remind me of Alabama fans. But Roy, just like Alabama right now, still one of the greatest. So go to Twitter, go to Instagram, Facebook, follow Roy Jones Jr., sign his petition to save boxing in the Olympic sports. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Marquise Dupree, Marquis Dupree, Dupree. This is Doc Sports. Please always like and subscribe. Find me on YouTube at Doc Sports. Hit me up on Facebook at Marquise, Marquis Dupree. Please comment. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what you think of the show. Give me your opinion. Please support me. These are my opinions, but I talk to a lot of people daily, and they give me things to talk about. And I pick from everybody. And this is not a traditional sports show. It's opinion based. But everybody who follows this show, I talk to them. I deal with them. I talk football. They know I talk football. And this is a safe place to stop talk football. College football runs the sport. I know we got boxing coming up. I know we have basketball starting, baseball's heating up. We have a lot of sports out there, but the people I deal with and everybody who support this show love college football right now. So if you want to hear something different, put it in the comments. You want to talk about disc golf itself, wrestling, any sport that excites you and motivates you? If you have a kid in high school, college, let's talk about them. Little League, put it in the comments. Say, hey, Marquise, when you see me around, hey, my son is this and this. Send me a little note. Give me some facts. Maybe I come out and check him out at a sport event. Maybe we can do some things live. And let's just have fun. Because sports bring people together. And that's what I love about sports. Some of us get hot, some of us get mad, but it's all love. Let's continue to support Doc Sports. We're out. Peace. Love you guys. Good luck to you with your football team this weekend. Don't take it too hard. I know all of us have passion, and that's hard to say. So Doc Sports, we out. Peace.